second there school level. So basically, like you were talking about the president in general,
Yeah.
um, the president had a manifesto,
Mm.
which of course grew up to a PAPD.
Mm.
The reason why I make mention of the manifesto is based on that manifesto that the president was elected.
Okay.
The manifesto captures what the president feel will be better for the country, for his people, and those four major pillars that are enshrined in the manifesto transformed to PAPD. One and foremost was one of foremost is what you call giving power to the people.
Mm.
And giving power to the people has to do with you empowering them
Mm.
through education, improving their welfare. That has to do with health because if I'm not healthy, people say I'm the bad can stand. So if you're giving power to the people and we look, I want to look at the people number one, like look at education. You will agree with me that the president has done tremendous work when it comes to education, where
Mm.
you have more than 30,000 students, more than 30,000 plus more than what we had before enrolling on an annual basis,
So enrollment has increased.
has increased people graduating from the rural colleges. If you check the numbers, they are more than what they used to be before. All of the universities, not just the University of Liberia or not just the tertiary institutions that you also have in the various counties, the, the enrollment has increased. People graduating on a regular basis have increased because you have like free tuition. People were dropping out of school because they could not afford sometimes $50 or $100 to pay their tuition.
Mm.
But with the free tuition, people are graduating from school on a regular basis. The president continue to build more schools. You don't have much burden on parents. Where, for example, I came from Sino County. I hail from Sino County. Sino County now has a community college. All of the counties we have a community college. Some have been upgraded to university level. Where I mean, if you don't have parents in Monrovia or somebody to host you in Monrovia, you can have further education after high school. So you see the trend the president is empowering people with when it comes to giving power to the people.
Okay.
Then you want to look at the health aspects. The president did not promise anybody in his manifesto that he was going to build 14 military hospital, but he knows that when you have a healthy society, there's a possibility for better growth, for better nation building. So he's building more and more hospitals on an annual basis. Uh, for the last 10 years, sometimes when we say, people say, oh, these guys like to boast, they like to brag. But if the president said he built more hospitals than any other president, if you look at in less than 5 years, if you can build 3 to 4 hospitals that are functional,
Mm.
compared to other administrations that lasted for 27 years, lasted for this year. In the first 10 years, they could not even be up to 2 hospitals. Then, of course, we are right to say the president built more hospital. And the president continue to build school. Yeah, we are. We're talking about school being closed. People, students were learning in makeshift homes, in other nearby
The
facilities.
mini housing units project.
No, I'm talking about the public schools that
Oh,
is
okay.
about to be dedicated.
Okay.
After the school are broken down completely, the children have to learn. Some of them are learning on the porches of other homes around there, because that the name suggests King Gray Public School. Bob Gray community, there where he lived before. Even the land the school was is being built on, it's owned by the late Bob Gray, King Bob Gray, who was chief before. You know the history more than I do.
Mm.
So what I'm saying, every aspect of what the president promised, he's doing well. One of the pillars were creating jobs and the economy. The president here, the economy that had nothing almost to talk about. And with all the challenges we continue
And
to
it
face,
seems all of the manifesto and the PAPD, the economy is one area that is heavily being criticized by opposition.
but well, if you look at the Bible, the name Satan,
Mm.
the meaning of Satan is opposition. He opposes everything that is good. And so this is why, even when the children of God got up to worship God, Satan is playing in the midst because he doesn't want them to do the right thing. So when I'm saying opposition, their work is to criticize because they feel that if they tell Liberians Old Joshua is building hospital. That's a good thing to do. It means that they are irrelevant. Nobody want to listen to them. So they'll take the Old Joshua, build a nice hospital in Bapolu, but they don't have a lot of nurses. Yes, you never had hospital before. So even if you have one or two nurses, more nurses will follow. The first thing is their knowledge that the young man is doing good. Whatever the president has promised them in terms of improving the economy of our country, continue to hold. The president has promised the Liberian people that there will be no interference with the central bank. Since the establishment, since the act that established central bank, it's now that we have the central bank is more independent than any other era. I think I don't want to put you into trouble, but most of our people who used to protest or who used to get their pay maybe 15 or 18 or the following month are getting their pay before even the month ended. I think some of us got our pay for December before even the 10th of December, right? We have
and that increases the problem in January.
no.
I mean, it depends. I mean,
So-
the individual and the way you use you use it.
Thank you.
January will suffer you.
Thank you. Yes. So what I'm saying,
Mm.
the president is yet to renege on the promises he made. In fact, he dreamed more things that he didn't promise you. He didn't. He know he would have given you free education because he started paying tuition of people when you were playing soccer. The president had more than 500% on the university scholarship at the University of Liberia and other institutions around that is Zion. And he's still meeting that scholarship for other schools that is being headed and run by a PD unit and assistant supporter. So what I'm saying is in essence, in the next few years, before the president 12 years finishes, you will see agriculture will take a different dimensions. It's not the agriculture sector that people knew before that.
So
people say-
agriculture will be the signature tune of the next term. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not necessary. It's continuing now. You can go
No,
to.
but when one see the PAPD and how it is being implemented, and which sector is making progress or is way ahead than the other sectors, people will reference road. So one will conclude that road is like the signature tune of the first term.
People will say that because the president have always said road, but the president has talked about peace. Peace. He has mentioned peace, keeping our country peaceful. He has used that word than any other word in other of his speeches than even the road you're talking about. You say yes, road, he's doing road, but you want peace. Because without peace, you cannot have road. Without peace, you cannot go to school. Without peace, we'll not have a better economy. So what I'm saying in essence and what the president continue to do, we need road to improve our agriculture sector. If there's no road to go to my farm, I will only plant bitter thing for my own feeding, not to be able to do it on a larger scale. So if I said that the president would be looking at our agriculture sector will be different from what you see, is that you will see Liberian message seeing is believing. You see certain things being exported. You see us, feeding ourselves to some extent instead of depending on more imported food like rice and things.
You're letting the cat out of the bag.
That's what the president determined to do. And mechanisms are already into place. Take your time out and visit the agriculture minister. Go on a tour with her, you see what I'm talking about, some of the things that are happening. Opening the doors and platforms, people who...
So there will be huge investment in agriculture the next term. Is that what you're saying?
Agriculture sector is already getting a boost and will be much, much better because you will see things coming out. Once you see, you will believe that, yes, there is things are working. It's not the agriculture sector where you only see about people providing this, but you don't see returns. This time around, you are going to see visible things from my village, from Sino. You see things from Chokbeyi town. You see things from Vubadi. You see things from Sisters. You see things from Tapita. Everybody is getting involved.
What will it take to what you're projecting as President Weah's next priority hugely. What would take to ensure that that is realized?
Well,
What is the president thinking as to what it will take to achieve those goals?
well, I think the president is still committed to a manifesto to the PAPD. Everything that is enshrined in that PAPD, the president wants to see it fully implemented. It's not about how much it will cost the president, but the president is working on a mechanism that before he leaves power, before his 12 years tenure finish, because overwhelmingly he's going to be elected. Don't ask me why, because
No,
the
I will
deli-
not ask you.
because
It is the opposition that want to counter that.
the deliverables are there, right? Things he said he was going to do, he's doing them. So there's more reason to give him a chance to complete it, and that is going to happen. So the president wants to see, he told you that we'll be able to connect our neighboring countries. That is happening. He will want for people from Grand Jida to drive from Moriro to go for a weekend, like people from Ghana are doing, like people from Grand Bassel are doing, and that what he remain committed to. And he's going to make sure that happens. So those priorities are still there. Nothing is being misplaced. He just want to make sure that all are achieved. More hospitals will be built, like for example, what we have in Bapolo. We are expecting to have maybe 4 or 5 more of those structures before the president leaves office.
And just talking about that hospital, the Emirates Hospital, it was the news of the month, or of that time. Bapolu may not have the population as maybe Bong, Lofa, or Nimba, or even Magibi. But how essential is that hospital to that aspect of that place of the West, the Western area?
What Vavle, even if Bapolo has 5 persons living there, their lives are also important. If they only have 1 person, it's part of Liberia. Monrovia is not Liberia. So the president's vision is to decentralize most of the things, education, health, just name it. That every sub-political division of our country should feel that they are part of this oldest independent country in Africa.
Mm.
Having said that, that hospital, when it was dedicated, the health minister told you that that hospital is going to provide employment to more people that were not working, because they will have to carry new nurses, doctors will be there. So that alone is economically going to empower a lot of people.
Mm.
Besides that, that hospital will be used as a referral for counties like Kilma, the entire Western cluster,
Mm.
Kilma, Bomi, Babu itself, Lower Lofa, and part of Sierra Leone. So,
Sierra Leone?
yes,
Washu.
we are all ECOWAS countries. You can leave from here, you go to Ghana if you want to seek medical attention. Those people closer, they are more closer to that hospital. The side of Freetown, I'm talking more closer to that hospital than even going to Freetown itself. So, take for example, Liberian.
So it is not just serving Bapolu.
Nope, it will serve part of lower part, that western, eastern part of Sierra Leone will also benefit from that hospital. So we should stop looking at populated and not populated. We should look at the well-being and welfare of every Liberian.
But
Now,
impact is driven by population.
so a lot of people come to Monrovia because they don't have schools in their communities. People come to Monrovia because they don't have avenue for employment. So if you have company going there, you will see people leaving Monrovia to go. I have to leave Monrovia to go work in Grand Jida for 6 years and a half because Army was employing and deploying people there. I took up that avenue. So if we have in every county, we have people, we have companies, we have institutions. Nobody want to come to Monrovia that is gem cluster. Like I said, why the president said we should have university in most of the areas that we need to have university? Why is he establishing community colleges all over? It's because you have to decongest Monrovia. People only come to Monrovia because they want education. So if I want to go to teachers college, and there's a community college that they're offering that have La Cosa branch or somebody that would make me to be a better teacher, I better enroll there to learn. If I want to do mass comm and there's a journalism school there, I better go there than come to Monrovia. All that matters more, people want better education. Once that education is there, is affordable, why would you want to come to Morrieville?
Okay, so
People
if
say, why do you worry when you can pray?
you listening to the Super Morning Show on ELBC Radio with me, Vafle Kamara. I have Mr. Isaac Sodokebe, Presidential Press Secretary. Now, Mr. Kebe, the president goes for re-election. You know, with all that you've said in these various sectors under the PAPD, this agenda are inclusive of every sector. What sort of appreciation of all that he's done is the president going to the election with?
Well, like I said before, and I will always say, come February 4th, the Mighty Coalition will reaffirm their endorsement for the president. That's the first step. And the rest for his re-election will be justified by his output. What he has done in every county is visible, you can see it. People who want to tend to challenge them, the only thing they have to offer those people in the rural counties, including Monserrado, is talk. Nothing else will show. But the president will have something to point to. Hey, look at your road. Hey, look at this hospital. Hey, look at the community.
You want to
road.
take it county by county and
look-
see? You want to take it county by county?
You want to start from where, Monserrado?
Okay, let's start with Monserrado.
Where do you want roads?
Inclusive of everything. Let's go.
The roads are all over.
I'm asking specific questions as to the kind of appreciation the president will have. You know, let's
It's,
be practical.
it's not about the appreciation the president will have when you go on the county tour. I
We-
mean, when you go on the campaign trail. But everywhere he went, people are applauding and telling exactly what he's doing. Let's look at Invisible Park, transform. West Point Pitch, transform. Detroit erosion, school is safe. Do you know how many presidents went to Detroit school? Do you know how many presidents attended that school, historic school? It's there. It's because of the president's intervention today. Look at West Point. The same thing. The president has to go to rescue the people. The land was already gone.
You mean the construction of the sea erosion, the defense?
The defense, that's what I'm talking about. First, I make mention of the pitch. Look at the market there.
It's a recent development.
Rec-
Why you starting with it?
We
I mean the
said-
pitch.
We
the
said
pitch.
county by county.
Yeah, anyway.
It can even be tomorrow. The president, listen, when the president said, I will pay detour school or I will pay this role or I will do this for librarian people, most of the things there were no timeline. Because he know that he has a 12-year mandate, he will get a 12-year mandate. He was in the first 6 years, and what he was doing will lead him to the next 6 years, another 6 years. Within that time, all of the things he pointed to that he would do will be done. So county by county, we're still looking at, just look at the amount of schools being in Monserrado alone. Free tuition was improvement, performance of children in the sub-region. We are on par with our neighbors. Unlike before, where another school, you do either have a single student passing was. Tutors have been organized. I don't have to go to Freeway, Ghana's Way, to pass through Freeport. I can pass through Claratown, Do Community, I'm there. I don't have to pass through Boma Bridge, St. Paul Bridge to come to Ghana's Way. I can use the Jamaica Road side. You have Bishop Michael Francis Road. What do you want? People who were out of the country. But let's look at this, for example. If you do your independent survey, you find more people building homes in Liberia than any other area. Why? Because President George Manuel Weah has given our people freedom to do anything. Once you have your land you want to invest, you are sure on the George Weah government, nobody's going to break it down. Nobody's going to take it from you. It is safe to do anything you want to do in Liberia. People take
Good things.
better good things. People take to the microphones, take to the social media pages, and say all kinds of negative to the president. He doesn't go after the resident.
Is that that's the issue of
You-
freedom of expression
you have-
under the PAPD. Yes.
if you want to say that, then I would say just do measure it only about that, but measure it with the amount of the proliferation of media institutions you have in the country. You have more than any other area. You have more radio stations. You have more newspapers. You just name them.
Mm.
So, under this government, there is nothing. I don't want to talk about political prisoner because, I mean, that's the last thing you ever wanted to do. Although on numerous occasions he has to leave his own country on other administrations.
Okay, so in Monserrado, you've named these various infrastructure, including the 14 military hospital and all
You
that.
want to go to Riverses?
Let's go Riverses.
We have housing units there. We have a hospital that was built under his administration. We have schools. What more? There is no country in this country, I challenge anybody, that the president has not made intervention in.
You want me to name one?
Name one. You don't have, so you can name any.
You want me to name Lofa?
Lover, for the first time, go to Foya. The youth center is fully operational, 100% built by Joshua. Look at the roads in Lofa. They have a mini hydro now that's supplying power. You still want to call it another county? There's no county.
So
The president is about to start phase 2 of the Lofa Road. We started phase 1 already. Things where their own people at the
that's
time.
a breaking news for me.
Things
Phase
where
2.
their own people at the time, with more than 40 years experience in government, they're not there do. Joshua did it in under 5 years.
You're showing job now.
It's not about jobs. I'm telling you reality, what is happening, what is unfolding. If I can't go to my home freely because of bar road, and the president paved my road, I should be applauding him. Not to tell him say the road is narrow. But you don't have the narrow road. You have full path. I make you say, why didn't make it 6 lane? What did you do? What did you do?
No, you're saying that to the elections, there are a certain group of people that will be going to the elections with nothing to show. And one group of people will be going to the election with something to show. But someone will argue that these people don't have authority to do anything.
Seriously?
And you have the authority to do something.
Seriously?
That would be the argument.
Seriously? I just said, take for example, right? Somebody claimed to be working with Coca-Cola factory for ages.
You're showing job.
They said, do you want me to learn, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
They said they were board member of Coca-Cola factory.
Mm.
But here in their own country, Coca-Cola factory has to close down. What you drink now, the soda that we have in Liberia now came here based on the intervention of the president with his partners. That way you have that facility operating now with drinking soft drink. So the president was not in government when he was awarding foreign scholarship on an annual basis to students at the University of Liberia. And people who benefited from the scholarship today are the one, some of them passing around saying things they should not be saying. So the president was not president when he awarded money foreign scholarships to people. He was not a president doing make intervention in a lot of areas. So what I'm saying, in essence, you don't only in Liberia, people who want to be president cannot show anything. They don't do anything until they are president. So you can know who really mean well for the country. I just outlining things the president did before he became president. So no matter what they say, oh, but
So that shouldn't be an excuse.
it's not an excuse at all. It's not an excuse. People always say that if you want to visit somebody and the person asking for your children to go and live with them, and the person had a door in the yard, look at the door. If the door is far, it means your child is heading somewhere good. But when you can count all of the rips on the door, try a different place for your child because there will be no big difference. People, because they become president, it's like telling the people that this is what I can do. So you got to show them, oh, I built 3 schools, If I'm president, I can pay 6. But you pay nothing. You say when you be president, you bill. How sure are you will do it? So you must be able to show things to somebody. The president did all of these things. He built schools before he became president. Schools were named in his honor. So if you are coming to the Liberian people, you went there 2011, you say you do this. Then you like you didn't do nothing. 2017, you didn't do nothing because they didn't make president. You coming back 2023. Are you serious? Are you serious? People wanted Joshua to lead a group that was going to tear down our country because he won the 2005 elections, and the election result when they were announced, they say he didn't win. To some people that contested the election, they say they are not like President Weah, who won election, they took it from him. Are they the people they would look at to get power to? Or somebody who lobbying, you want to be president before they lift sanction on Liberia, but because you're not president, you're lobbying for sanction to come in your country. Are you the one people take serious? Let's be real here.
So as we go to these elections, what the president will be focused on? What will be the focus of the president?
Well, basically, is to reassure the people of Liberia that is their president, is a man who can deliver the good, and then he will point to what he has done for the people to be able to give him a second mandate to complete what he's doing. Because if you have not done nothing, you will not do something. So since he started doing things already, you just telling them, look, I'm the best person to do this. Give me the next 6 years, let me carry on, and you'll see more. I promise you this, I've done it. I'm doing things that I didn't promise you. So imagine giving a second mandate. I have no doubt, you should have no doubt that I'll be your man to deliver. And even those in opposition didn't themselves know. Probably they just want to go to the election so they say, well, we participated.
But that's the essence of election, is to contest.
Look,
Is to contest.
when it comes
You may be way ahead of me with good plans, and you may have done something, but I can give you free ride. I have to contest you. That's the essence of democracy.
Look, I agree. I subscribe to the tenets of democracy. But let me tell you this. In some of our quote-unquote developed society, you will see, let me make reference to America. You see a Republican supporting a candidate from the Democrat when he or she feels that this particular candidate Democrat is the best. They do that. It's only in Africa or Liberia that we do not exploit people when they are doing it. Some people back off from race because they know the best candidate is more than them.
Are you telling opposition figures to, in good, clear heart, come and openly declare support for the president?
I'm not being for some of the surrogates. Some of them now will be doing that. And I will tell you for sure that before we go to the
You say some of them will do that?
They will do that.
And how will you describe their action, that decision?
That's the best decision for the country. Give power to the president that is well prepared to serve you, that is there to deliver our country. Look, sometimes I feel shame traveling to other countries, our neighboring countries, where we claim we are the oldest independent country in Africa, which is a fact. Most of the countries here, our past president lobbied for their own independence. But sometimes you look at them, what they have, the infrastructure development they have, you don't have it. And this is the president who's trying to bring that. That you'll be able to drive from here to go to your airport on two-way express lanes. For ages, that is just a 45-kilometer road. We couldn't have done that with all of the debt waiver we had in this country, with all of the UN mission we have that were doing quick impact projects. Unlike this government that is doing everything. We don't have debt waiver. We don't have quick impact projects by the UN mission that have over 15,000 persons there working.
Mm.
So what I'm saying in essence, if you know, for me, I mean, I'm a September born. I say it as it is. Opposition, look, it's not a crime that you'll be committing. Telling the people, yes, Judge, we as the right persons, we are not ready to lead. That's one of the problems we have today in South Sudan. The late Dr. John Garang, he told the UN world that our country we are not ready to lead. They say, okay, we'll give you 5 years plus to study. They opted for secession to see what they can lead. Today, South Sudan has been in chaos from one crisis to another crisis. The only person now in this country to lead Liberia forward, to pour on par with our neighbors in terms of development-wise, is President George Weah. No one else. Because these people have been in one way or in some capacity. What did they do?
So, Mr. Kebe, just before we go to course, let me ask you about impacts. You know, you may say all these things and outline the development projects of the president or the government. So let's measure impact. What can you say about the impact of those projects?
Well, I don't really know how to say measure the impact, because if I give you free education, and the free education that the president has announced that is in place, you have more enrollment,
Okay.
more people graduating, building their minds, because you cannot, there's no better empowerment you can give anybody besides giving education in the first place. So, if I can provide education to my people, we have, if I don't know when the census result is coming up, but if you do your own studies, you notice that since George Weah announced free education, the amount of people that are getting education, people that are literally literate, are more than what we had before. If the president is building hospitals across the country, where people no longer have to be carried in mats to come from Wiendoru to come to Monrovia, where they can get treatment over there, then you say impact. It's already serving the cause. You build school, people are going to school, they are learning. More people are graduating. You have rural where people now don't have to pass, everyone don't have to pass through 72nd to come to town. They can use other avenue, the Do community, Clarendon, and all to come to town. Then you talk about impact. Peace, everybody's building. Anybody market, what's my saying in the market, they're building a structure, they're moving their own homes. They have peace of mind. And we still talking about impact. We have freedom of expression, where anybody can go on social media and say anything. Take their own radio, write anything in the newspaper. Nobody touch them. You have independent central bank. People that our economy, despite the challenges we have in terms of health crisis, coronavirus, other crises, at least our economy is still there, as compared to big countries in the world that their inflation is far higher than ours. And we say asking for impact. When maybe today is the 20th, so hopefully maybe about 2-3 days from now, something will have hit your account. We still talking about impact. What the president said he would do.
So the president will be going to the election with tangibles.
More than tangibles, they are there. They are there.
Because these questions will come up.
You are a journalist. Probably you don't want to be seen as somebody blowing the horn of the president. But you see what is happening. Who do you want to compare the president with now? Those calling themselves quote unquote opposition.
It's not me to say that.
It's not you to say. But if you have the chance to give your own opinion, who is doing better? Josh Weah. Josh Weah. What will you say? So what I mean?
Let's take calls, Mr. Kevin. Let's take calls. I don't want you put me in situation again. So if you want to be a part of the program, you can call us on 07705818886 or 080-514-096, 080-514-096, 07705818886. I have in studio Mr. Isaac Solo Kebe. He's the Presidential Press Secretary. He's my guest this morning on the Super Morning Show. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning, morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
This is Matthew Diaji. I call from Caldwell.
Yeah, let's hear you,
Morning,
Mr. Diaji.
Good morning, Matthew.
Thank you for your explanation, and I want to say good morning to the president. Thank you to the president for all what he's doing. The president has done one question even before the presidency. I've been in the line of helping less fortunate children. I'm a witness, a testimony when I was with the late Mother Young, who was the president grand auntie. The Oman Park and Mother Young have had a great dream. 1,000 of our young people are in the street. And Mother Young cried on this before. She had a dream of becoming mother. I would like to see more than 1,000 children in the home. Mother Young institution is down, and a lot of things are happening. Besides that, there are a lot of people who sacrifice for this country in line with Mother Young, and we put at the presidency need to get in line with church organizations
Okay.
that will bring these children up so that at least it will alleviate the work of the government of Nigeria.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. What's your name?
Yes, now Rita Do, the president said for Citizen Party, I want to say good morning to us, together.
Yeah, go ahead, Mando.
Yes. First of all, I want to tell you thank you for everything that you explained. We that on ground, we know the work of President William. We know whatsoever thing that you do on the train people. You know, those that were in power for 5 years, with all the big money that were coming in the country, all the things what President William is doing, they never did it for us. But today, President William come to power, our children was here at the poor people also unit, our road is connecting. LEC 24/7 seen the LEC now after they destroy the hydro. When they brought water, they destroy the hydro. 12 years, they able to fix the hydro. Now we're finding it difficult sometimes. So I want to say kudos to him. I want to say kudos to President William.
Okay.
We still by him. 2023 we campaign for us to work from room to room to see that President William get his second period.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let's hear from this person. Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, Maverick Camara, what's up?
I'm fine. What's your name?
Mike Bemele calling from Buchanan Process, one of Bon County Finance, brother.
Yeah, go ahead, Chief.
Let me say good morning to Ajay Solo Kebe. I'm a man there from K7D. I know all of them. Ajay.
Okay.
Mr. Kebe, let's say thank you to our good president. Look, we never made mistake 2017 to 11. Look, whatsoever you people think to us is true. Except those who get about Shani, it can see. But who get out to see, we see it that this president means something for Liberia. People condemn you that you're not doing your job. You're not doing your job. Look at what you can explain to us, and we are testing it. Look, let me say kudos to my president, man.
Okay.
2023 for him. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. What's your name?
I'm Ellison Dizzy calling for the left town ground here.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, I would like to thank the studio girl for explaining the thing that the president is doing. Also, I would like to commend you people for coming back on air in Grand Nigeria.
Okay.
Well, we've been down and myself, I've been wondering how to get you people. And my question to my studio girl, let me get to my studio girl because there are our men there.
Mm-hmm.
The rule leading from Tapeta to Zwedru, what the president is saying about it. I
Okay.
know that he's doing good things on counties, but we are suffering here. Now that dry season, the road is in a deplorable condition. We are getting back in the rain season. What he's saying about it, what will we do about it before the election? Thank you.
Thank you. He will respond. We can take one more, then we'll go back to Mr. Kebe. Good morning. Morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, I'm Maurice Abba joining you from the Makane Tapeta.
Yeah, go ahead, Chief.
Yeah. Let me say bravo to early morning. You see, the lazy people always support a negative thing. always in Liberia, people feel that, because of their party, they support never win, and, the other party, there is no some person in the party that believe in Liberia always. But people always criticize you because they want for the people to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they'll continue to inform people to know the tangible things that are taking place in Liberia. And some of us, we know, we are seeing it. But other people always criticize because they want for the people to be elected and the people were not having chance to get there. So
Okay.
that's the reason they are doing those things.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Kebe, you listen to the concerns, some more commendation, but also one major concern, especially the road from Tapeta to Zweju. Maybe you can respond to that, but go ahead.
Well, basically, yes, I think it's a concern because I work in that region for 6 years and a half. I know how the deplorable that road can be, most especially during the rainy season. But it's part of the works that the Ministry of Public Works they are working on as we speak. They are doing the road from Ganta to Saklipe to Tapeta, and Tapeta to Zweru. So it's been done in phases. Okay, the president is very concerned about that side, and I can assure him that the president have already secured funding from some of our partners to do that road. But they are not just going to jump in the middle of it. They will try to make it accessible up to the rainy season time, and gradually, as the pavement continue, when they pass by Tapeta, they will go to, they will pass through Zlatan and they reach Zweru. That's a priority for the president, and let them know. So one of the things some of our people, sometimes in the diaspora, are not taking advantage of. The president on his tenure has enacted and signed into law the dual citizenship.
Okay.
I think our people need to take advantage of that. Our president remains committed to making sure that the little money the government has is spent wisely. So this is why on his administration, you are able to see the National Port Authority building their own corporate office. The same thing with the Liberia Petroleum Refining Company. The same thing with NAFA. The same thing with NPA, Maritime. So, I mean, what this president is doing is for the good of the country. And he's going to continue to do those things he has been doing, he promised to do. And some of the things that he did not promise, because he said, I'm not as eloquent as you think you are or you want to be, but my decision that I will make will be for the betterment of our country.
Okay, Mr. Kebe, we almost out of time. Finally, your parting comments. Maybe you want to stress more on the dedication of the Kingwe Community Public School.
Yes, I think there are a lot of projects, markets in school, henceforth that you continue to hear the president is going to be dedicating. So today would be the Kingwe Public School right here in the Painesville Belt. By word of information, is along the road leading towards the EAW or L1 radio station. Should be, I hope I know my left and right, but it should be on my left if I leave your studio.
Okay.
Using the main EAW, we're passing by way of SK Sports Complex.
Yeah.
That school is an elementary school, but it's going to make a significant impact in terms of molding the minds of most students. Before they had a capacity of 750, now that has been upgraded to 2,000 students per year. The principal said will be running 3 different sessions. And this EAW Belt or Painesville Belt, you have more and more people eager for education. So at least the children will be back in school. They'll be learning under a conducive environment. They don't have to go behind the house to use one bathroom. They have washroom with 12 latrines. The principal for the first time will not have to use the same bathroom with the students. You stay right in your office and go to use this bathroom. The teacher have lunch. They will not be standing and buying color along with the children along the sidewalk. They sit down in their teacher lounge, have their breakfast, have their lunch, and whatever thing they would need to have. So I think it's a good venture, and like I said, and the president continued to say, he's going to continue to empower people. He continue to create the avenue for people to develop themselves, and he's going to build our countries, but whether the roads, whether it be infrastructure in terms of schools, hospitals, and improving the judiciary that is completely independent of itself. His central bank will continue to be independent. Our nurses' welfare will be sought. As you are aware, for over 12 years plus, 15 years plus, you have the United Nations mission here, many people right now, our professional area police and other paramilitary officials, personnel are taking care of our country. Today, we can boast that we have troops participating in Mali, in South Sudan, and other missions around the world. So this is the kind of transformation that the president wants. Now, Liberians that used to destroy things are now building things, are building peace. You have more Liberians serving outside of Liberia with different UN missions and different organizations than before. And this is why the president is making education a priority, so that more and more people get educated. And the more you are educated, we assume that you use your education wisely, because there are some people who are educated but not putting it to use. Those people are called educated fools. So we want people that will really build their country, people that will move our country forward, even if Joshua leave power.
Okay, well, he's Presidential Press Secretary Asus Soto Kebe. Mr. Kebe, thank you so much for being on the show this morning. Well, he's been my guest. Next up, I'll be playing host to Lauren.